Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Orlando Kart Center and Kart Chasers coverage of round 2 of the 2025 Rotax Winter Trophy. Caleb Yeska for Kart Chaser yesterday. A very good day's racing. That was round 1 out of 4. Today is round 2. At the end of today's racing, we'll be at the halfway point. Some drivers will have their dreams shattered, other ones will be thinking a little bit more about how we get to Bahrain.
Yeah, a lot of drivers had a really good start yesterday. The likes of Lewis Goff, the likes of Lauren Legault, and a couple of others. Your big winner yesterday, obviously, in that first race was Aiden Ingrata. Has never been in the Grand Finals. Is looking to try and get to the Grand Finals this year at Bahrain. And again, for some drivers, it was a really good start, but for other drivers like Diego Ramos, who was at the Grand Finals last year representing Brazil, the task looks a lot harder today, I guess, with not the best point start that he would have wanted yesterday, and then obviously today starting second for his pre-final. So it could be a better start for Diego, but again, it's going to be a long haul, 4 rounds, back-to-back weekends. It's an exciting championship, I must say, Henry.
It is indeed. So what have we got on slate for you today? The drivers are out doing warm-up this morning, then we'll be into the pre-finals, last chance qualifier for the seniors, and then the main events this afternoon. 6 categories: Micro Max, Mini Max, Junior Max, Senior, Max Masters, and DD2. So 6 tickets available. Yes, there are 2 DD2 Masters here, just racing with the DD2s for the heck of it. But 150 odd drivers are here. 50 of them have already been to the Grand Finals before, so they know what this event means. Like I said yesterday, SCUSA has its Super Nats. The CIK has its World Championship. Miami has its Warriors final. Rotax has the Grand Final. Could you imagine what it would be like as a sports person? The biggest, award you can get in your sport is being selected to represent your country. That's what all these drivers are here to try and do.
And indeed, I grew up playing soccer a lot when I was younger. If I want to compare the Super Nats to any event, I would compare it to the Champions League. If I wanted to compare the Rotax Grand Finals to anything, it would be the World Cup. You get to go out, represent your country, put your country's flag on behind your back. The suits, honestly, when you see these drivers walk up with their country suits, that's probably the best feeling for anybody, right? I know Dalton Haynes, who's a big fan of you, always wanted to go to the Grand Finals to represent his country. Diego Ramos, I was speaking to him earlier this morning. He said, man, the Super Nats is one of the best events, but that's almost like a club level, like soccer thing, you could say. Yeah. But whenever you put your country suit on, you're there with people from your country. It's one of the best feelings ever, getting to go out there and represent and try and win a world-class event like that.
Yeah, it's a huge honour. I know Kart Chaser, for you, the Kart Chaser universe, watching at home, wherever you are in the world, some of the names, some of the drivers might be a bit new to you. We will do our very best to introduce you to some of the international superstars that we have here. Junior Rotax warm-up has just gone out. Now, tyres. Every driver had 2 brand new sets of Mojo tyres starting Friday afternoon for qualifying. We did qualifying for Saturday's racing and then qualifying for today's racing. The drivers can use those tyres in whatever way they want. So we saw lots of strategy yesterday. We're going to see either the payoff or the pain after that strategy today.
Yeah, we saw a lot of drivers yesterday kind of decide to do different things when it came to tire strategy. One of the big teams that we saw use a little bit of a different tire strategy was the RPG boys. And you saw there was almost 2 races going on, right? From 4 on back, the drivers who didn't have a new set of tires on for the main event were kind of in a race of their own, and then your top 3 were just pulling away from the field. Aiden Ingrata, Lauren Legault, and Lewis Goff, a guy who's over from your side of the pond. Exactly. And they were doing a good job of just staying away and not fighting all too much. But again, you have to think about the drivers who have the advantage today. Kai Hunter, another one of the RPG drivers who has a brand new set of tires coming into the pre-final later on today.
Yeah, and I personally really like the fact that you're not told exactly when you can use your tires. It's open strategy. A lot of these young drivers, they're going to have to learn tyre management, learn strategy as they move up through the ranks of motorsport. But I tell you what, the people are watching some action out on track. We've got a grid full of drivers here. Let's go and have a chat to him, shall we?
Yeah, Lewis Goff is actually right here. Here's the driver that I spoke to yesterday. The 1-minute board actually now going up here right behind us. A couple of drivers coming in, so we'll see if we can snag anybody from the Senior Max group. Looks like a lot of them had their helmets on. But already, Diego Ramos going out in the second group at the back.
Yeah, and of course, course, this event is an international event in every respect. Manuel Branco and Gonçalo Duarte from Corridas Karting Portugal, race directors. We have got the cream of the crop from North America, organisers SRA from Canada. Our flag lady is a Formula One flag marshal from the Canadian Grand Prix, running the grid with an iron fist. So she's keeping us in line. But yeah, drivers sat in their carts. I tell you what, we'll let this lot go, and the second group, when they start arriving, warm-up isn't mandatory. You know, you don't have to go out in warm-up, but there are some drivers that had problems yesterday. One driver in this class in particular, Zachary Daly. So, newcomer to the sport. Yesterday, his main race engine went pop in a huge way. The D2 Motorsport team have been working really hard. He has a second engine. It's not as fast as his one, but it has a piston in it, because yesterday's piston decided to break for freedom out of the side of the block, which was not great. But I gotta say, I love the smell of two-stroke in the morning. It smells like victory.
Yeah, and the sound's also a lot different than what I guess you're used to hearing here in the U.S. And this is a sound that I actually like a lot from these Rotax engines, especially from the younger classes when they come out of this last corner. And you know, Rotax is obviously doesn't have as good of a bottom end as some others. When you get to that top speed and you get to that mid-range and that Rotax engine really grabs, it almost feels like you're taking off almost in turbo fashion, right?
Yeah, exactly. The weather for today is set fair. A couple of clouds in the sky. It's a little bit warmer than it was at this time yesterday. It's going to get nice and traditionally Floridian for the rest of the
warmer
event.
for you right now, but for all the Floridians, I mean, I'm from Texas and it's super cold for me still, around 40 degrees, but it'll get warmer. Yesterday, jackets came off around midday, so it's really, really nice weather considering what you're used to having here in Florida.
For the drivers that have come over from Europe, you know, this is a refreshing change. Well, I tell you what, they're hiding down the back of the grid, Caleb. I think that, I mean, obviously being a celebrity on Kart Chaser's Grid Talk, they may be a little bit intimidated by seeing you, so let's go and try and catch up with some of the drivers. So I know that the Kart Chaser team, Riley Cam, producer, and the rest of the boys, the camera crews, they're showing you some images out on the circuit of warm-up. Let's go and try and take a temperature in the paddock. We mentioned, you know, obviously you're watching the racing, but we'll speak to Lewis Goff just about what it means to be a UK driver.
He's giving me a little bit of a face right now, too.
Well,
I wish the viewers could see this.
We just want to know, yesterday a podium in seniors, but Team UK, how much of a difference does that make to you as a driver wearing your national race suit as opposed to the usual race suit that you wear?
It makes me stand out a bit more, actually supporting my home country, but it gives me more confidence to push even more since it was the grand finals that I went to.
Now, a couple of people in the USA, they were on the live chat on Kart Chaser's coverage yesterday, and they're like, who's Lewis Goff? And I was trying to explain. So, tell us a little bit about your family's involvement in motorsport.
Yeah, so my dad has a racing team, what's called Optimum Motorsport and Inception Racing, which there was racing at the Daytona 24 this weekend. But unfortunately for them, the suspension broke for them, so they just packed up really. It was 10 laps down, so but it was good to experience it with me and my mechanic going down last night.
So you went to Daytona last night to watch some of the Rolex. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's some good racing. How was it?
Yeah, it was amazing of like how banked there, like the straights were. Saw the pit stops, what they had. It was really good, and the experience of that is just amazing.
And what car were they running? A GT?
Ferrari GT3.
There we go. Is that your plan then? Is this your route into motorsport when karting's finished? Or do you want to be a professional go-kart racer out in the USA like Joe Turney, like Marion Kremers, Danny Formal, people like that?
Yeah, I would hopefully go into the GT3 side of it, but I just got to keep pushing hard and work hard, try and get there.
Lastly, I have one question.
Yeah.
This is obviously your first race in the U.S. Are we going to be seeing a lot more of you later on this year?
Possibly. We don't really know what's going to happen yet.
Well, possibly. That's a good enough answer. I'll take that.
So we go from Team UK, one of the biggest karting nations. Here is a next driver that has never been to the grand finals, but his country is occasionally being represented, Venezuela, Salvador Della Vecchia. You've still got the black race suit on. This is your first time in seniors this year. How have you found it?
It's Sorry?
This is your first time in seniors. How have you found it?
It's pretty hard to race in senior. They're very experienced. Some people like Caden McQueen, Kai Hunter, and those people. It's hard. It's my first time in Rotax, trying the senior, but we're getting there, fixing a little details on the engine. If we get everything, I'll get in front.
Now, yesterday, he was the man in black, no graphics kit. He's now got an AM Engines graphics kit on his number 361 kart. What do we prefer, the plain black or the full team?
The plain black, for sure.
The plain black, for sure. What would it mean? You started coming to this event when it first began back in 2022, when there was 50 drivers full stop. What does it mean to you? What would it mean to be able to represent your country?
It would be great to represent my country. I always wanted to represent Venezuela in big races. So it's my country, and I want to make my mom happy, and my dad proud of me. And yeah, I just want to represent them and get them on top.
Because did you not win a ticket here in the first year, but then couldn't go to the grand finals?
Yes. Yes.
So that's painful. You're here, you're driving on. Caleb, that just goes to show you what it means to these drivers. You know, all they want to do is make themselves proud. Thank you, Salvador.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's it is a very different feeling, a different buzz. You've got to say, you know, you've been around Rotax, so you started commentating at the Texas Sprint Series, which is which is the USA's biggest regional series.
Correct.
What's the pathway from that to this? How would you recommend to a driver starting out in local racing and coming to this?
Yeah, well, firstly, it's about to get pretty loud down here, but I mean, the pathway through a lot of different things, right? At the Texas Sprint Racing Series, it's kind of one of the feeder series to the SCUSA Pro Tour, so we don't have a Rotax package out there, but Rotax being one of the most affordable two-stroke packages, there is some club showing out there, and obviously Rotax is expanding in the U.S. now with the West and the East Series that do offer tickets for drivers to get out, or I think it's for the Trophy Finals, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, so we've got 6 tickets to give out next weekend, and then 6 more tickets to give out at the special Rotax event in Phoenix, Arizona on the 22nd and 23rd. There is a US Nationals event that's usually been held at Newcastle Motorsport Park in Indiana. Not quite sure how that's going to work this year. There is going to be another ticket event later in the season. So there's going to be another event later in the year after the West event with some more tickets. But of course, 394 tickets worldwide. And of course, generally it's winner takes all. Win and you're in. And there's no other karting event like that. You cannot buy a ticket. It is impossible.
Yeah, and so you're asking about how to kind of get here, right? You obviously start at the Texas Sprint Racing Series there from where I'm from, and you kind of start getting into the KA side of things. It's obviously 206, that's the entry level to our sport, and you get back into the KA side of things, and from there you start expanding into 125cc once you feel like you've dialed in that 100cc package. And once you get into that, it's either their X30 or the Rotax package, both great engine packages. And again, you get to compete at an event like this that can take you somewhere possibly to represent your world on the complete opposite side of the country to where we're from, right? So it's a very, very cool event, Henry, and I'm super stoked to be here for my second year running.
And so the second group of seniors are on circuit now. We'll move to the youngest members of the Rotax family. I'm going to chase Hudson Howard down now. Of course, so Micro Max, for those of you that are unaware, sort of in SCUSA you have Micro Swift, but in Rotax you have Micro Max. Hudson Howard, unfortunately this young man had a DQ yesterday. There was an issue with the airbox. However, you know, how are you feeling about today?
I feel very confident about my skills, and I feel like I can win it today, and I just got to push my hardest.
Now, again, Hudson Howard, the son of Jay Howard, former IndyCar racer, now running the Jay Howard driving academy. Do you remember your dad racing, or have you seen videos of him when he used to race?
Yeah, I remember. I just used to stand in the streets and eat cookies.
That's the spirit, stand in the street and eat cookies. That's what I do now. What would it mean if you were born in the UK, but you now live in the USA? If you qualified for the grand finals, what country would you choose to represent?
England.
England. Oh,
There you have it, Harry. I think that's the answer you were looking for.
well, I mean, I'm Welsh, so there we go. You missed out last year in the finals, but your teammate William Vita did go. Were you cheering him on, watching from when he was racing for USA in Sarno?
Yeah, I was watching from home and cheering for him as hard as I could.
Cheering him on high was good. Excellent, great interview. That's good stuff. I've got to say, I am so impressed with the development of the young drivers, and I've got to credit Kart Chaser with that. When I first came over here 3 years ago, you couldn't get 2 words out of them, but now they're used to having you guys around. I'll tell you what, Caleb, you've got the pick of the microgrid. Go and find a driver that you think will give us something good to talk about.
Yeah, there's a lot of drivers over here. A couple of the drivers last weekend had 2 weekends ago, I should say, had a pretty good weekend. We have a couple standing by here. Brody Stoffel was actually about to go out onto the racetrack here. Brody, it wasn't the best of races for you yesterday, but I guess what are you looking forward to coming into today with how qualifying went for you?
It wasn't bad for qualifying. We're just going to keep pushing today to see what we can do today, to see if we can get up front. The team's going to just push as hard as we can today.
And obviously you had your first national podium a couple of weeks ago. Do you want to carry that momentum into this weekend? I know it was definitely a good feeling for you and your family.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try to bring it here today. I just really want that podium.
And I know your dad's watching on from home. What do you, I guess, send him a little message here this morning so he can hear you.
I just want to say thanks for watching me.
Well, there you have it, and thank you very much, Brody. We'll see you here later on today as well. Well, we move on, and we'll go back up to the front of the grid and get ready for this next class to head out into the racetrack, Henry.
So we're just moving a camera round down here on the dummy grid. We want to get a few images from the grid as well as from the circuit. So yeah, we're back. The micro drivers are heading out now. It's always a thing, Caleb, at the start of a new season. I mean, well, the off season is getting shorter and shorter. Maybe a month and a half, 6 weeks. But you come back to the start of a new season. New drivers have moved up, drivers have changed teams, but other drivers who maybe last year were mid-pack, they've been practicing, testing, and now they're up at the front. It's great to see the youngsters develop, isn't it?
Yeah, you see a lot of development from these young drivers, two of which we just talked to now, right? Hudson Howard started last year, was his first year of full national racing, and he had a couple of breakout performances at his home track of Newcastle and a couple of other places as well. MCC, he was strong. Brody Stoffel, it was his first full year as well, national racing, and just 2 weekends ago, he got his first national podium as well. And you see a lot of these drivers that start to come into their own with the more and more seat time that they have. And in our sport, the most important thing here is seat time. We talk about drivers that come here one time out of the year for this event to try and qualify, one of which comes to mind is Dudu Barrichello. And speaking of him and his mechanic, one of the issues he had was he was just lacking a little bit of seat time compared to all the other drivers that are in the seat every single weekend.
And you're never far away from a driver, even if the driver's not actually driving. This is former Grand Finals competitor Felipe Bartz, who's a member of the Barrichello family, who's working here at Orlando. Felipe, you beat the Grand Finals. Tell the people what it's like.
It's an amazing event. It's very competitive. Everyone's friendly there. You're all with your countrymates there, so it's an amazing event. I raced in Brazil in 2018, so I had a lot of fun.
You're holding a piece of paper, aren't you?
This is for you.
this is for me. Oh, okay. So of course we've got to remember the drivers have got to return their transponders at the end of the day, don't they?
You can penalize anyone you want now.
I can penalise anyone you want. Oh, okay. Well, your cousin was very nice to me yesterday, so I'm not going to penalise him. But thanks for your work. So remember, yes, we'll remember that. So, international audience, drivers from all over the world are here. If you know, you got your Grid Talk podcast where you preview and review all the action. If a driver was going to come over and spend, you know, a month racing in the USA, where would he go? What would be your go-to place in the USA to race, and what would you race?
Well, it also depends on your time of year, right? If you're going to come here at the start of the year,
spring. We'll go for the spring.
So end of the year, you'd have to be somewhere in the Midwest, right? I would say like Indiana or somewhere up there. All of our racing usually flocks over to the Midwest. It's obviously snowing there right now, so if you're going to go and race somewhere and want to race in our national stuff, you want to go to Indiana. In the spring, that's where we have obviously Newcastle Motorsports Park. Whiteland Raceway Park is not too far. We have our grassroots side of things, and as well, MCC in Ohio isn't too far from there, and more tracks start to kind of pop up, and obviously more in the West as well. But in the spring, I would say the Midwest is exactly where you want to be, and that's a big array of states.
Are you seeing a real improvement in terms of organisation, facilities, tracks, you know, the professionalism of the teams in the last 3 or 4 years?
I mean, this sport has grown so much since I got in it. I'm one of the newer, I guess, people who have gotten in the sport. I got in 2021, and the growth that I've seen throughout the sport has just been tremendous. When you walk through the paddock and you see teams like RPG who are, you know, to the T professional, everybody's wearing the same thing, and other teams like PSL, and just the growth of the sport has been so much, and facilities as well. We go to world-class facilities at every single event that we're at. I mean, we're treated nicely, and we're always inside air conditioning, and so with all these teams, there's really good facilities out there in the U.S., and it continues to grow and grow as our sport continues to grow. I mean, just a couple of weeks ago, we had the biggest showing in Pro Tour history.
SKUSA Winter Tour,
and also here in Rotax. This year, this event has grown so much over to, I believe it's around 170 entries, maybe a little more than that.
We got about 150 here. There was a few things. I mean, I looked at the entry list, and when I saw Joe Mama on the entry list, I did question that. We'll move away from the youngest members of the Rotax family to the oldest. These are the Max Masters drivers now coming to the grid. They're fighting for a ticket to DD2 Masters. Now, this is a class that is open for drivers over the age of 31. Some of them are significantly over the age of the 31. Mr. Aguayo, good morning, sir.
How are you?
I'm very good. Are you looking forward to today?
Yeah, we look forward for a great master race. I heard all the commentators from yesterday. All your comments were very grateful, so thank you for everything. Yeah.
Excellent. But I want to speak to the oldest driver here, Michel Legrand, the Maison Dorothy driver. He is 66 years old. He drives kart number 678. It is a Birrell ART. I want to speak, Michel, first of all, congratulations on just still getting out there and doing it at such a high level. What's the key to still doing this at the age of 66?
Nothing special. I never stop. I like that. I run with my son. It's a pleasure for me. We travel all the world, so it's the kind of way to vacation and see. I've never been in Italy. Cars bring me on Italy. Cars bring me here. Cars bring me everywhere, and that's it.
Living the dream, quite literally. You are living a dream. You're having fun.
Yes. Yeah. I live all my life every day.
And you get to race against a former Formula One driver in Rubens Barrichello.
In Canada, we race kart. We have 3 radical and 1600 series too. So, I have a steering on my hand. My number is 78. I start in 78 to race, and I never stop.
Superb. That's the life, isn't it? Thank you very much, Michel.
Thank you.
There's a story, and that's the beauty of Masters racing, isn't it? You know, it's not a kid's sport. This is a sport in its own right. Maybe we should go and speak. Let's go and speak to Rubens Barrichello. You go and hustle him, Caleb.
I won't lie, he's an intimidating guy. But his new chassis actually is
Oh,
looking,
yes.
yeah,
And then we'll
pretty
come
good.
back to Victor Kuzmachov because we've got the GP karting drinking game. How drunk were your teammates yesterday, Victor?
Oh, well, a lot. Everyone was wasted.
Excellent, excellent. So every time we see Kart 601, Victor Kuzmachov, the GP racing team in Toronto have to do a shot. That's the rules. But we'll talk about there's the Barrichello kart as well as the driver. So Rubens Barrichello is associated with Birrell ART. However, they have developed the new Barrichello kart. It is a brilliant deep blue. Caleb's favourite colour, your kart. It's your kart.
Blue is my favorite color, actually. Rubens, I just want to hear a little bit about how the kart kind of came to be here, because obviously you and your son are running it here this weekend.
It's well, first of all, I'm so proud of the happening, because at the end of the day, I'm so much involved with the kart, and I try to qualify every year for the grand finals. In Brazil, whenever I can, I run. So this is not the final version yet. I think the chassis is going to be a little darker, and also the red might go to an orange or to a brighter red, just because I think the helmet it's the it is to do with my color, the color of the helmet. But most of all, I think I'm so thankful to have this relationship with Ronnie, and Birrell ART has been so helpful to the career of the kids. So I'm proud to put the Barrichello into the market.
Now, later on today, Rubens has got a fantastic foundation that helps to solve hunger for children. So we're going to be featuring that a little bit later. But one thing, Kimi Räikkönen's son is now racing Rotax. You got to go. He's got to go.
Yeah, it's 1 minute mark.
We'll
so
speak
he's
about
gonna-
Kimi Räikkönen later because
yeah.
Kimi's got to come out of retirement to do that. And Rubens has got a fantastic foundation helping to solve poverty and hunger for children in his native Brazil. But we don't often interview Rubens, not because he's not happy to be interviewed, but because he's just another driver here, isn't he?
Yeah, indeed. I mean, there's a lot of world-class drivers here this weekend, and Rubens is just one of them, right? So, we see a lot of our drivers, obviously, in the National Series, and it's always a pleasure when you see a driver of his caliber coming out here to race here at Orlando, which is his home track here in the States.
So, let's talk winners. Yesterday, before we talk with Alan Isenbarn is going past us, I wanted to quickly speak to Zach Daly in seniors, number 377. So, we'll talk about, for every driver that has a good day, we also have drivers that have not so good days. Zach Daly, explain what happened in yesterday's LCQ.
So yesterday, the turn around the stands, I was coming out of that exit and I got hit in my rear axle. My rear axle was bent, and my entire kart was just like turbulent for the whole session. That and the fact that my engine was gradually losing power, my engine eventually seized, and then I stopped 400 meters away from the finish line.
But you have an engine on this morning. It's not the same one, which is in a million pieces. What does that tell you about the sportsmanship in the paddock? That you have people that can help you get back out and make sure that you still race.
The support here is great. The fact that the people at Rotax have the parts that we need to come and swap out and pretty much just like fix up what we need to fix is great. The support has been overwhelming. It's been really good, yeah.
Okay, so one for the underdogs. If you're watching on Kart Chaser and you want to support someone, a bit of an underdog, a good luck story this weekend, driver 377, Zach Daly, USA but Jamaica as well.
Of course, yeah. I'm down here with the D2 people. They've been great. The mechanics are awesome there. My dad has been the person helping me out the most. He's an awesome mechanic, and we're just trying to make it out here. This is my first national. I'm pretty much a new driver, so I'm just trying to learn the ropes, see how things are going.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Zach Daly. That's good to hear. First national, getting some help, getting some support. That's what karting should be about.
Yeah, and exactly right. That's what the sport's all about: bringing new faces, bringing new drivers into the sport, and we love seeing that. We love seeing new drivers come in every weekend, more and more drivers, and every series kind of growing throughout the years and more faces. That's exactly what we want to see as kind of people who want to see our sport grow.
Well, we've got the Masters warm-up session is out on circuit. Don't forget, the pre-finals, last chance queue, and the main events are all on Kart Chaser Premium. Caleb Jeska, tell the people why they should subscribe, how they can subscribe, and what they will get when they subscribe.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, KC Premium is only $9.99 a month. It's cheaper than any of your TV providers, cheaper than Netflix, cheaper than the list goes on and on. Right, so it's a lot cheaper than everything else, and you get to watch every single series that we go to. We're going this year. We're expanding, right? So we're going to be from kind of coast to coast this year, and it's going to be an exciting thing to kind of see, kind of grow. So if you don't want to miss any of the racing action this year,
I don't want to miss anything.
Yeah, then make sure you join, and obviously you just hit the join button on the bottom and near the description, and make sure you join in so you won't miss any of the racing action later on today.
You could quite literally watch live racing every single weekend of the year from somewhere in the world, and then if there's 4 or 5 events on the weekend, well, there's your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday sorted as well. There's no excuse not to be able to follow karting live, the most exciting form of motorsport. You know, maybe snail racing. No, that's but yeah, Kart Chasers premium subscriptions, $9.99 a month. That is, and you get to see plenty of adverts. You get to see these guys, the Kart Chaser team, people like Alex Searle, Emery Lyder, Caleb. You've got the whole Kart Chaser personalities. Xander Clemens does a podcast with Carl Cuthbertson. David Land is on there as well. You get to know the whole Kart Chaser family.
Yeah, I mean, we're live almost every single week talking about something, discussing something. Obviously, Xander and myself and our crew doing the grid talk side of things. So there's always something to talk about in our sport, and we love doing this week in and week out.
Excellent, excellent. So let's have a couple of looks at warm-up on track. We'll be having a little break because we have got DD2 to go out, and then we have our Mini-Max class. So 2 warm-up sessions to go at the end of what is on track at the moment. I think we'll probably have time to speak to a couple of other people. Then it'll be back up to the booth for the actual racing, pre-finals, and the main events. You do not want to miss it. So in the live chat, please tell us where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. Tell us where you're going to be racing, if you've ever been to the grand finals before, and what it would mean to you to represent your country, who your picks are for the wins. Keep the comments coming in the live chat, and if you're not already a subscriber, well, why not? It's wrong. Do it. Do it now. Do it now. Now.
Yeah, well, checkered flag in the air here. We'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, you watch the DD2 Masters take the track.
To the finish line. Who is it going to be? And it's Sean Perez who wins in Crescent.
Ty Fisher wins $1,000 in KA100 Junior.
Alex Stanfield played it perfectly here. Told him to wait. Stanfield wins the Duffy in 2024 for TV Kart.
Amarillo Kart Complex is now the official distributor for TV Kart in the continental U.S. Become a dealer today.
Paulie Massimino wins in KA. Paulie Massimino is a winner in OKN Stars.
Take your driving to the next level with one-on-one coaching from 2024 OKN Stars champion Paulie Massimino. Kart rental options are available if you'd like to keep yours at home, and drivers in all classes are welcome, from Briggs 206 to Mini to KA100 and X30. With in-depth data analysis, onboard video footage review, and lead-follow on-track sessions, each private coaching session will see you end as a more complete driver than when you started. Book your coaching session now.
Ready to elevate your racing game? Introducing Apex, your 24/7 personal karting coach. Apex is your ultimate racing companion. Get expert advice anytime, anywhere. From setup tips to mental strategies, Apex has you covered. Fine-tune your car for peak performance. Get personalized advice on adjustments like tire pressure and chassis settings. Apex helps you master the track. From overtaking strategies to wet-weather driving techniques and to resilience to perform under pressure, Apex keeps you focused, confident, and race ready. Using Apex is simple. Sign up, ask your question, and receive instant advice from top-tier coaches. With Apex, your personal karting coach, you're never alone. Get instant expert advice on everything from setup to technique. Unlock your full potential with Apex. Your journey to victory starts here. Happy racing.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Behind us on the dummy grid, the Mini Max drivers ready to go up for their warm-up. They'll be the last group of drivers to have their warm-up. Yesterday, Caleb, the Mini Max final was the race of the day. We have a new winner in Albert Farrow, but really anyone of 6 or 7 could easily have won it. And here's something, 13 different teams, about 8 or 9 different chassis in the top 14 positions. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a big variety of chassis and just drivers from a lot of different places. One of the most interesting things that I heard on the podium yesterday was for James Roots, the pole man yesterday on Saturday.
The Roots is on fire.
That's exactly what they were saying, and that's honestly a very clever way to put it. And honestly, the guys that I was looking out for are some of the guys for us that were over at the Rotax Grand Finals last year. Enzo DeGennaro was our representative for Team USA, but a couple of drivers were strong. If I want to go for move of the weekend, I'm calling my shot early here. Maxwell Macha, I believe, in the pre-final, the way he set up that over-under going into the final corner was just great. Very mature driving.
It's not going to be the fastest driver necessarily that wins Mini Max. It's going to be the smartest. A lot of the drivers, so Enzo DeGennaro had a penalty afterwards, was on the podium. It's interesting. We'll come and speak to Enzo. So refocus. Now, yesterday you had a penalty in the final. You've forgotten all that. What is your, I'll use the Alexander Searle word, mindset today? Are you ready to go?
Really the mindset is just keep your head down and just keep what I did yesterday and just keep on going to the lead.
Once you've been to the grand finals and represented your country, everyone's desperate to go back, aren't they?
Yeah, I really want to go back. It was a great experience, and I think I could do better this year if I get it.
Excellent. Got to get it though first, haven't you?
Yeah.
Excellent. There's Enzo DeGennaro, and Enzo has got, I want to know, he's got a Tyrannosaurus Rex on, what's the dinosaur's, Enzo, what's the dinosaur's name on your crash helmet?
I haven't named him.
Haven't named him. Oh, there we go. Competition time. Competition time for Kart Chaser. We'll get an image at some point of the green dinosaur on Enzo DeGennaro's helmet.
I say we call it Henry.
Competition. Name the dinosaur, yeah? What do you reckon? Henry the dinosaur. Just because I'm old. Just because I'm old. Maxwell Matcha. Caleb, ask Maxwell about his move of the day.
Max, firstly, what a move in the pre-final by you to take the win in that race. Just walk me through that. How are you feeling going through it? Did you know you were gonna make it stick in the last corner?
Just try to think. So just let James Root slow down so I could get more speed from the corner and then just pass him in the corner.
And you obviously finished on the podium yesterday, but didn't get the win. And I know it was a very hard race. Just what are you looking forward to today, to doing differently than you did yesterday?
I'm very confident today. Just learn from my mistakes yesterday and just win.
Well, there you guys have it from Maxwell. He's very focused, getting ready to hit the racetrack here in a couple of moments.
And of course, Maxwell drives for the Velocity Racing Saudi team. Nelson from Velocity Racing, I have to say, I'm so impressed with the work that you guys have done. You know, you steadied the Saudi kart ship, and now you're moving forward. How proud are you of, number one, the drivers and their families, but all the team behind you?
Well, first of all, we got to thank everybody involved in Velocity Racing and the all-new development of Velocity Power engine development program. And the work we put in, we've been working 7 days a week, nonstop, all the way to midnight, just to get our stuff dialed and be able to compete with only the best in the USA. We want to be the new RPG, the new PSL. You know, we have to put the work in to be able to succeed. And what can I say? I'm super proud of every single parent, every single member of our team, and let's go Velocity Racing, baby.
Let's go, baby. Thank you very much, Nelson. Right, let's go back. So the final warm-up session of the day is about to go out. And, well, Caleb, here we go.
Yeah.
So, let's take the temperature. What's the first takeaway you've got after speaking to the drivers, the atmosphere down here?
Yeah, no, definitely. A lot of drivers are feeling a lot better than they did yesterday, are obviously already with a full day of racing under their belts. They've only ever done practice here on these tires. For a lot of them, it's a different set of tires, the Mojo tires, compared to the MGs that they're obviously used to, or the Avincos here. So it's just a lot of differences, right? A much softer tire. Drivers have talked about the softer sidewall on these Mojo tires. So it'll be just interesting to see how they kind of deal with either a tire that's kind of losing that original grip that it had, or just a brand new set of tires coming into race day today. And it's going to get a lot hotter. Drivers haven't talked about the grease over point, but we don't know if it's going to come today or not.
So there you have it. Winners yesterday: Micro Max, Zane Burgess; Mini Max, Albert Farrow; Junior Max, Rayan Gandor; Senior Max, Aidan Ingrata; DD2, Alan Isambard; Max Masters, Danilo Romalo. They are the drivers with the target on their back, and we have got a whole bunch now chasing them down. It's going to be a really exciting day, and Caleb, you're going to be here waiting to get to grips with all the winners, some of the losers, some of the trackside news, which is invaluable as the day progresses. Sander Clements and myself will be up in the booth calling the action. We'll leave you guys watching some of the warm-up on track, but Caleb, it's going to be a good day, even though I've been called a dinosaur.
Yeah, it's going to be a great day, Henry. I know you got to head back up to the booth here in a little bit, but it was a pleasure having you, and obviously getting to walk down this grid with you. Obviously, from Mr. Rotax himself, it's always a pleasure.
Thank you very much, Caleb. A great job. See you in a minute.
Colin, I need a new 219 chain. I need a 77 tooth sprocket. I need some more chain lube, and I need it probably as soon as like tomorrow. Dude, are you even listening? Like, we need this to run this weekend.
Want anything else?
What do you mean?
I already got it in the Kart on Acceleration Kart Racing's online store, bro. All orders over $200 get free shipping.
Oh, throw in a set of tires.
Done.
Everything you need, all in one place and shipped to your door for free on orders of $200 or more. Exclusions apply. Shop akr.com.
Are you looking to take the next step in your racing journey? Well, look no further than PitFit.
With 2 locations in Charlotte, North Carolina and Indianapolis, Indiana, PitFit trains drivers all the way from grassroots level karting to IndyCar and NASCAR with top-of-the-line personalized coaching to improve physical and cognitive fitness.
For more information on programs, check out PitFit on Instagram or Facebook today. DPK Americas is bridging the gap between the U.S. and the 2-time world champion DPK Alonso Kart factory team in Europe.
In partnership with Team Binnick, they offer drivers a complete career path from the Americas to Europe that allows them to continue their driver development on both sides of the world, all underneath the DPK umbrella.
For more information, contact DPK Americas at max@drivensm.com to take the next step in your driver development journey today.
Join us for the biggest kart racing convention of the year, the 39th OVKA Kart Racing Trade Show and Swap Meet, Saturday, February 1st, Roberts Center, Wilmington, Ohio. Whether you're into sprint karting, dirt and oval racing, road racing, unlimiteds, or vintage karting, there are deals here for you. Shop our 60,000 square foot show floor, filled with the karts, parts, and supplies you need. Network with kart racers of all disciplines from across the country. Get insights from experts at our performance seminars. Visit our Intro to Kart Racing open house to get started in racing. Visit OVKA.com. Vendor registration is now open. OVKA.com.